Ever since I became a brony, I've heard rumors that Weird Al Yankovic might guest star in the show, but I dismissed these rumors as being crazy. Yeah, right, I said. Next you're going to tell me that Twilight will turn into an alicorn and that Hasbro will make a movie where they all turn into humans. But now I've learned my lesson and I'm going to start taking brony rumors much more seriously. And now I can't wait for the season finale where Fluttershy turns into an alicorn and Princess Skyla will come and give all the ponies rainbow powers. Let me just start off by saying that I was half expecting this episode to be terrible and only get by because it had Weird Al in it. And I am very happy to say that I was wrong. Even if I had no idea who Weird Al Yankovic was or that he was in this episode, it would still be one of my favorite episodes of Season 4. As is, this episode stands to dethrone Putting Your Hoof Down as my all-time favorite episode. I can't contain my fanboying for this episode much longer. Let's just get on with the synopsis. So right off the bat, we are introduced to Weird Al's character, Cheese Sandwich. And as soon as his cutie mark starts playing like an accordion, we know that this episode isn't about to waste the potential for humor that Weird Al brings. So after something remarkably similar to Pinkie Sense tips him off, Cheese Sandwich hurries to Ponyville, where there's a party a-brewin'. Fast forward to Ponyville, and there certainly is a party on the way, as well as a song. Now before I talk about the songs, I have to go do something first. But the disappointment comes from the fact that I can't really imagine many awesome remixes coming out of these songs. You stupid idiot. Where was I? Oh yeah, the song. First of all, I think it's important that you judge an episode based off what it tries to do. For example, Three's a Crowd had the clear goal of humor, so it's best to mostly judge that episode based off the quality of its humor, which is why I give Three's a Crowd an A++. Similarly, Pinkie Pride should mostly be judged on the quality of its songs, as well as the humor. In which case, this episode is absolutely fantastic. Just look at the first song here. It has strong vocals, great instrumentals, and is incredibly catchy. And it taps into that special something that made the Smile song so great. That special something being Pinkie's character. Once again, this song solidifies Pinkie Pie's role as town entertainer, making every pony smile and planning parties. It's been a long time since the show gave us a good look at Pinkie's personality, but we finally get to see it again. If Pinkie keeps this up, she may soon replace Fluttershy as my favorite pony. Anyway, after the song, Pinkie reveals that she is planning a party for Rainbow Dash's birthday as well as the anniversary of her moving to Ponyville, or as Rarity calls it, her birthiversary. Reminds me that Rarity was also the one who coined the phrase Flutter Bat, so I guess Rarity mashing words together strong bad style is a thing now. I can get used to that. But then Cheese Sandwich shows up and after even more excellent dialogue, offers to help plan Rainbow Dash's party and launches into a song of his own. Weird Al Yankovic is singing a song in My Little Pony. Let's just all appreciate that. This song has every element of a classic Weird Al Yankovic song. It's got the polka style, fast-paced random lyrics, and hilariously wacky visuals. While the visuals aren't nearly as ridiculous as Discord's song in the last episode, they're still amazing. I particularly liked how the police lineup gag had a pony that looked even more like Weird Al than Cheese Sandwich does. The sheer greatness of the song was enough to convince all of Ponyville that Cheese Sandwich should plan Rainbow Dash's party. Unfortunately, this leaves Pinkie behind in the dust. So while everyone is enjoying setting up the party with Cheese Sandwich, Pinkie is on the other side of town moping. Once again, this is another side of Pinkie that we haven't gotten to see in a long time. It's great to see once again how Pinkie gets when she feels like her friends are rejecting her. She's obviously not as far gone as she was in Party of One, and I think that's a good thing. Party of One is the sort of episode that is hilarious once, but if they made this episode just a rehash of that, then it wouldn't be nearly as funny or interesting. So I'm glad that the writers decided to go another route as opposed to just flattening Pinkie's hair for some easy laughs. So while still poofy-haired Pinkie is moping around Sugar Cube Corner, Twilight comes to talk to her. I mentioned this in my Rainbow Falls review, but I really like how Twilight has started doing this. She's been making sure to help her friends through their problems. While she encouraged Rainbow Dash to make the right decision in Rainbow Falls, here she is suggesting that Pinkie go help Cheese Sandwich in planning the party. However, Pinkie feigns a smile, as well as some other fun facial expressions, and says she's fine. Twilight obviously isn't entirely convinced, but leaves Pinkie alone. And we get yet another song. Now this song is something special. It's one of the sad songs. No, wait. It's one of the happy songs. Weird. This is a rare moment in the show where a song actually carries a major tone shift and turnaround in the plot. Usually in the show, there would be a sad song, followed by some dialogue where the turnaround occurs, then a happy song. The most obvious example being how Magical Mystery Cure transitioned from I've got to find a way to a true, true friend. But the song in this episode went straight through the tone shift without the song ever stopping, so the song is actually a part of the story. In fact, most of the songs in this episode carry the story in them. This is how a musical episode should be done. No offense, Magical Mystery Cure. So now that Pinkie has regained her vigor, she finds Cheese Sandwich and challenges him to a goof-off over the right to headline Rainbow Dash's party. Normally, I would hate such a terrible pun as goof-off, but seeing as this is a silliness contest between Pinkie Pie and Weird Al Yankovic, I have to admit that I really can't think of a better term. So after even more great facial expressions, the goof-off begins, with another song. Now this song is one impressive feat of ridiculousness. I imagine the writers looked at this and said, okay, now we need something really ridiculous, but we're already an episode of My Little Pony, so it's going to have to be really ridiculous. But this is already an episode in Season 4, so it's going to have to be really, really ridiculous. I mean, Three's a Crowd cranked the show's ridiculous-ometer up to 11, and that's hard to beat. But the writers were able to push that knob up to 12 by going live action for a few shots here. No joke. That actually happened. And it worked. I can't think of anything more ridiculous than live action, can you?
Hey, don't drag me into your video now.
Around the point that Pinkie starts singing in Spanish, something goes wrong and Rainbow Dash gets almost crushed under a gigantic piñata. Make that 13 on the ridiculous-ometer. At this point, Pinkie realizes that her pride has been getting in the way of the whole point of this party in the first place, which is that Rainbow Dash is supposed to be having fun. When suddenly, oh my god, Rainbow, I shimmer thing, it's so cool. This exact same thing happened to Rainbow Dash in Rainbow Falls and to Rarity in Rarity Takes Manhattan. By now, the pattern here should be pretty obvious, so I'm not really going to bother explaining it. I'm just going to say that I love what the writers are doing here and they should keep doing it. So after another very lovely song from Weird Al explaining Cheese Sandwich's backstory, Pinkie and Cheese decide to team up and throw the party together. And now this party comes with one more song. This last song is much more in the style of the songs from Equestria Girls, and that might tick some people off, but hey, I loved Equestria Girls, so deal with it. And after throwing the greatest party ever, Cheese Sandwich takes his leave and heads to another town. I said at the beginning of this video that this might just be my new favorite episode of all time, but now that I've written this script and gone through it a few more times, there is no doubt left. This is my new all-time favorite episode. This episode is plain and simple, an absolute barrel of fun. And unlike the other fun episodes, like Three's a Crowd, Pinkie Pie doesn't sacrifice any of the characters for its humor, and even improves upon them. I have no complaints. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, I nearly forgot. 500 subscribers. Thank you so much, all of you amazing and wonderful people.